Okay guys, so welcome to part 2 of our handstand progressions exercises. So on the first video we did isometric holds, so we're holding those strong positions, and all we're going to do now is look at those positions again and then the dynamic movement we can create between them. So first and foremost, the dynamic movement is where a lot of people focus, but I don't want us to forget about the strength and the stability in those positions. So the start and finish position, very important, and any other position that we stop or hold in, we need to really think about being strong and stable within that. So let's get on it. Okay guys, so we're first going to begin with the press up, and I have done a whole video on press up variations. So I'll put a link to that video. So if you are interested in getting your press ups really strong and diversifying your shoulder strength and your core strength, please check out that video because there's a lot of good stuff in there, and I'm only going to cover a few bits when it comes to press-ups today. So first and foremost, we know, most people know how to do a press-up, so we're looking at that strong start position, once again stomach in, and then we're allowing ourselves down so our chest touches the ground, and then we're pushing back up. Obviously in CrossFit we'll do hand release press-ups at times, just to make sure that we standardise, but the important thing is, guys, that we keep the body nice and straight. So sometimes I see this sort of thing, we're here, and then we've got that roll up to that position. Now, if we're doing burpees or down-ups, yeah, that's fine. But with the press-up, we want to try and keep that straight line from our ankle, knee, hip, and shoulder. So we want to try and encourage this movement down as one, as opposed to, I sometimes see this as well, people hinging at the hip, going down there, keeping their bum high. I want you to keep the body nice and straight as you go down and up. Now when it comes to variety of press-ups, if you can't do a full press-up, you can do press-ups from your knees. So once again, the important thing here is to try and keep your knee, hip and shoulder in a nice straight line. So we're here, we're coming down and we're coming back up, as opposed to doing this sort of thing here. And even if you really do struggle to do a press-up with the body straight, you can start more or less into your cow-cat position. And then as you come forwards, try to allow the hips to straighten there as you come back up. That would be your starting point if you can't do a press up from your knees, keeping the body straight. You're here, as you come forwards, let your hips come forwards and just go as far as you can. Okay, now other variations, we like to kind of do press ups, keeping our elbows in, so kind of yoga style, coming down to the bottom and pushing back up. But you can flare the elbows outwards, just as a bit of a change. You can stagger the hands, so you can take your hands into a different position and push up. You can do diamond press ups, so you can keep your hands close together, push up and down, or you can go wide with the hands and do press ups there as well, okay? So the main thing with your press ups is we're doing them for quality, okay? So it's not like a WOD where you're doing 20 as fast as you can. You're thinking about a strong start position, strong finish position. So not speed, okay? So we're not going like this, we're thinking strong position, down, strong position, finish, down, finish, in order to get that strong movement. Good work, guys. So next up, guys, we've got our reverse incline. So as before, warming up with some isometric holds, getting that body nice and straight, and then from here, all we can do is drop ourselves down, push ourselves back up, and we start to think about hinging, but keeping that body nice and strong. Okay, so we've got more of a dynamic movement. It's probably worth pausing for a couple of seconds in those different positions. I'm not letting my bum slam down on the floor. I'm trying to keep some pressure. So as my bum comes down, I'm holding it there and pushing back up, okay? Likewise, we can do our tabletops. We can push the hips up, and then we can come down, push the hips up. So we're starting to visit these isometric strong positions, but by being strong through a movement. If you're quite flexible, you can come here, and then you can go back, straighten the legs, come straight back through, straighten the legs there, keeping the bum off the floor. And once again, we're just creating a bit of movement around the shoulder and strengthening that shoulder girdle as well as your whole core. Next up, guys, we've got our hollow rocks, okay? So we've got the hollow rock position down, hopefully. So what we're gonna start to do now is look at trying to move in a hollow rock fashion. And the most important thing is we're creating a line of tension through the body like a bowl. So we're here, and then we're rocking forwards and backwards. We're trying to get our whole body to rock at the same time. Okay, so your hollow rock position first of all, holding that position, and then you get your rock going, and you're just trying to keep that line of tension as you rock. So you should be coming up onto your shoulders, there. Okay, so the more you practice this, the easier it becomes, because the less muscles you're switching on that would hamper the movement, and the more control you're going to gain from the movement. The other thing I like to do is your hollow rock turnovers. So just like the hollow rock position, when you're lying on your back, you can lie on your front, and you can squash your bum, your hips into the ground, lift your chest, reach forward with your arms, holding this position, and then you can have a little bit of fun moving from one side to the other side, and then back again, just from the core. So you're really thinking about using your core to move one side, and then the core to the other side. Okay guys, give those a go. Once again, work for quality of movement. You don't have to do them every day, it can be every other day. Just start to drop them into your daily workouts as a bit of accessory work.
The last exercise in this second section is going to be our dynamic press. So what we're going to do first of all is we're going to consider that when we are upside down holding a handstand, our focus and attention tends to be on our hands, our elbows and our shoulders, okay? So it makes sense that if we're standing up, where should our attention be? Should it be on our arms or should it be on our legs? First of all, our legs, our hips need to be switched on optimally. So one thing I see a lot with press is people kind of standing like this, putting all the emphasis and focus on their arms and pushing up like this, and they're not paying attention to what's going on here, okay? So first and foremost, even before you pick up your weight, practice standing tall, feet both facing forwards. You are trying to keep your chest up but stomach in, and then watch out for this bum, okay? You don't want your bum sticking out, arching backwards like Donald Duck. You want to tuck that tailbone underneath slightly, and it means that your glutes are firing, your hips engaged, and your posterior chain's more active. So going through your hamstrings, your glutes, your lower back, and you're keeping your core nice and stable here. Okay, so we don't want sticking the bum out, and once again, we're arching the back, so if you're pressing overhead, we're loading the back in an awkward position. So we're going to think about a nice strong setup first of all, and then we're going to take our weight, and we can either take it with two hands or one hand. So I'm organised, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to press up, lock out overhead, and I'm just going to pause in this position. So again, we're working that isometric hold, but we're including a bit of dynamic movement by bringing it back down, pushing back up. So I want you to really feel the ground through those feet. Think about being nice and controlled at the hips, and if you had like motion sensors on your hips and on your core, I want your hips to be as still as possible. No kind of excess movement here as you're pushing. Okay, we're looking for a strict press and making sure that finished position is nice and stable, guys. Okay, enjoy.